Tell us how you got into all of these businesses.
Restaurants, by accident, you can have a very good brand, you can have a very good product, you can get a very good team, and then COVID hits you. Nag-Plan B kami. So during COVID, what we were saying is, oh no, this is the end. We never had a plan A
Na nag-work?
na nag-work.
Wow.
You have to remember during COVID, everybody was going through the same problem at the same time. Nobody had a smart solution.
First time to eh.
First time.
Walang nakakaalam
Walang expert.
eh.
Walang expert. What I'm trying to say is that the only skill set I learned from my lolo is being a survivor.
May factor ba yung culture and your belief as a Filipino-Chinese in operating business? So,
No, I'm not that.
okay, you heard your lolo story. Pero I'm sure may na-impart sa'yo si papa mo. Your dad instilled something in you.
You learn the
This is Money Masters, where true stories spark real change.
Hi there mga kaipunaryo! Sa araw na ito, naku, may makakausap tayo sa isang tao na talagang mahilig sa restaurants. Oo, hindi lang siya mahilig kumain, mahilig siya magtayo ng mga restaurants. He is right now the President CEO of Mother's Spice Food Corporation, bring big names. At yung mga restaurant na mga tinayo at nga founder niya, Mango Tree, Genki Sushi, Sendrio, Kureji, Tunglok Seafood, and right now he's the President Emeritus of Resto PH. Tumutulong sa mga maliliit na mga restaurant owners all over the country na magpalaki. Without further delay, let us welcome Mr. Eric Teng. Palakpakan naman! Hi, Eric!
Hello, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Eric. The last time that we saw each other, we connected each other, it's during the time of pandemic.
Yes, we were a lot younger.
Yun nga, I must say, there's so many restaurants. Please tell us how you got into all of these businesses.
Restaurants, by accident, kasi we all like to eat. Actually, the long story short is that somebody from the Thai embassy called my friend looking for someone else. Tapos katabi ko siya, binigay niya sa akin yung phone. And when I took the call, they were asking if I want to meet somebody from Thailand to talk about restaurant expansion into the Philippines. And they set up a meeting and I called my wife. Sabi ko, I'm going to a meeting. Sabi niya, hey, if it's Mango Tree, kunin mo. And accidentally,
Oh, Mango Tree is a...
franchise.
Oh.
Yeah. So accidentally, the guy who was there to meet me was the franchise director for Mango Tree. I called my wife, hey, it is Mango Tree. Paano mo nalaman?
Oh, paano niyo nalaman?
Yeah, so, and then we went to our friend in the malls. The first person I spoke to was Mr. Renato Maldan, who was part of Ayala Malls before. And it so happens that I said Mango Tree. It so happens that's also one of her favorite restaurants. And parang, what do you call that sa English word?
Serendipitous.
Serendipitous.
Oo.
So everything just fell into place. It was fate. And when my wife, Imelda, talked to some of her friends, it also was their favorite Thai restaurant in Bangkok. And so they wanted to be part of the Mango Tree group. So, hey, it was one of the easiest things that we ever started.
So in other words, may mga nag-invest din, may mga nag-finance.
Yeah, we
din.
have partners.
Okay.
Initially, we had partners. Later on, we went on our own to expand more because they didn't have the appetite to grow into other markets or other brands. They just want what we had before.
What year was this?
This was 2000. When we talked to the Mango Tree guy, it was 2009. We opened our first restaurant in 2010. And mind you, I had no experience in restaurants.
Okay.
I was in retail. I
Okay.
was doing Maldita. I was
Ano?
doing
Maldita?
Maldita. We had our fashion brand called Maldita.
Okay.
So I was in the mall circle. So of course, when the opportunity came to run a restaurant, I approached the landlords. It so happens that at the time, they were just developing BGC. So the first location na binigay sa amin was Trinoma. Hey, it's available na, by the way. So yeah, we opened our Mango Tree Bistro in Trinoma. And a year later, they said, across the street is your location from Mango Tree on the 7th Avenue.
Yeah.
So I invited the principal from Thailand to come over. Sabi ko, he was asking, where's the location? It's there, yung parang talahiban with a aluminum fence. I said, that's the location, Mango Tree. And then we're opening that next year. It's impossible. How are you going to open that next year? Well, they said they're going to build it. Next year, it will be done and we will be opening with them. Okay. So buti na lang, he trusted us Turns out that location is our main flagship branch on 7th Avenue on BGC.
That I think that's the most profitable, right?
It's the biggest, it's a flagship. But the funny thing is, at that time, nobody was thinking BGC would be what it is today.
Talaga?
Yeah, they saw grassland.
No, anong taon to? What year was it?
This was 2000. When I saw the site, it was 2010. And then, true enough, a year later, it was done. 2011 pala, they showed me the site. 2012, it was done and we opened. So, yun, it was just something that I felt was so easy. I know the restaurant industry was hard, but I always said that retail is a lot harder. Restaurant is relatively easier because you understand as a consumer. We're all diners. We all know what we like in restaurants, but retail, I cannot guess what you want to wear. I cannot guess what you want to wear 6 months from now, in what size, in what shape, in what color, in what style, in what price. I don't know the trend 6 months from now, but I know what you want to eat now when you order
Yeah.
it. So,
Ito lang, siguro sorry to interrupt. While you're telling this, parang nagpa-flashback ako, Eric, at saka guys, yung mga nakikinig. Alam mo, may kasabihan kami. Pag galit ka sa kaibigan mo, pag galit ka, gusto mo gumante, pagtayuin mo siya ng apparel business. Do you agree?
well, it was my wife who wanted to be in the apparel, so I don't think we hate each other.
Hindi, kasi explain ko sa inyo, explain ko. Kasi, yun nga, guys, if you're a first-time entrepreneur, I have a good design. Okay, fine. You have a good design. But I remind you, good design, number 1, small, medium, large, XL, double XL for one design. One design, color.
Color.
Diba? Black, white, red, kung ano pang color.
Fabric.
So, times 4 mo, tapos plus the sizes for one design.
And you're predicting 3 months, 4 months, 6 months down the line what the customer wants to buy.
Exactly.
Right? So you're predicting in summer season, yan ang trend. Because you're reading a book. We read a book that says, ito yung magiging on trend. So in 4 to 6 months time, that's what the customers are supposed to be buying. So when you launch it, 1 week later, your next door neighbor is at 50% off.
Oh,
So it's always hard to, deal with that kind of
ang hirap.
very hostile, very competitive environment.
At saka syempre, may stock ka ng products eh. May say your money is on inventory.
Yeah, it's tied up.
Yeah. Unlike food, ito nga, ang food, hindi naman kailangan size, color, di ba? Walang babae, walang lalaki. Di ba? It's neutral.
Taking from a karinderya perspective,
Okay.
I don't even need a refrigerator. I don't need a freezer. Kung ano yung serve ko for lunch, bibiling ko sa palengke in the morning.
Lulutuin ko na.
Lulutuin ko. Nakita ko manok
Oo.
at this price. Nakita kong baboy, meron siyang ganon. Well, yan yung serve ko for lunch. So it can be a very fast turn on that day planning. So there's very little, in the smallest, simplest sense, a food business can be as simple as that. But if you're talking now of a chain, like your burger brand, so now you're looking into the science of it. And it's fascinating. It's amazing when you look at the complexity. It's ever evolving. It's never the same. Even though you're having the same burger for the last 30, 40, 50, 60 years, the production is different, the retail side is different, the location is different, the price is different. It keeps changing.
Uy guys, ito, huwag kayong alis ha. Bakit? Kasi pag-uusapan natin, marami kayong matutunan, specifically if you are interested in the food business. This is the go-to guy, okay? No, go-to guy experience. Kasi Eric, you know what, I always tell people, a lot of people get into this type of business trial and error. But most of the time, error, hindi na siya trial.
I'm guilty of that.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
Kaya nga, pero there's a better way to learn.
Yes.
By learning from your mistakes.
From my mistakes.
Di ba? Parang, why should... So, ito yun. This is going to be a master class. Kaya, huwag kayong mawawala. Now, I want to go back to Mango Tree. With your permission lang, di ba? You open your first branch in Trinoma.
Yeah.
So, yun nga, everything happened according to, di ba? Parang it's so simple, it's so easy. Can you tell us, kailan ka nag-ROI on the first, When you say ROI, guys, yung nabawi agad yung punan.
The typical ROI schedule for restaurants, I was told, because like I said, wala akong alam in
First
the restaurant
time mo eh,
industry. A safe ROI schedule is about 3 years mark.
3?
Yeah.
Oh, healthy yun.
Yeah, healthy.
Super healthy yun.
Depending also on your investment. Your investment is big,
Yeah.
your sales is low, matagal yun.
Of
But
course.
if your investment is small at malakas ang benta, mababa, mabilis. So I have restaurants that ROI in probably under 2 years. I have restaurants that have not ROI'd after 5. And it can be the same brand, the same food, but the market is different.
Yeah, depende sa location din.
Location.
Yeah,
the
pero
customer is different.
particularly sa Mango Tree, I'm interested. Kailan ang ROI mo yung
I
first
think we
branch?
did that in 3 years din eh. 3 years. We're just average. We're not better than the average.
Pero yung second, I'm sure, faster.
No, we're always at the average is about 3 years. Maybe kung chamba kami. If we do less than 3, I think it's chamba na.
So, ang ibig mo sabihin, kung isang tao magre-restaurant business na may brand, kunyari isa ay franchise, pag 3 years below, healthy siya.
But 3 years below, you're lucky, you're very good, you have a very strong brand. The operator is really, really sharp. I'm just an average restaurant operator. I don't call myself along the line of the people I truly respect. So who are really isang tingin lang, they know what the customer wants. I'm still learning. This is a constantly evolving field for me. So I'm a work in progress. My business is a work in progress. So we just have to keep learning.
So, kunyari mga 5 years and above naman, how would you say that?
It's sad, but I have to close certain restaurants. In other locations, I have an SM Aura location where the initial brand we put up there was a pancake restaurant. It didn't work out, but I already had the investment there, the fit out, the air conditioning, the exhaust. Well, Genki Sushi needed a location, so I asked permission if I can convert it to Genki.
Yeah.
It so happens it's exactly the same size
Okay.
na gusto ng Genki, and I think I converted that within a 30-day period.
Okay.
So that old pancake restaurant became Genki Sushi, and now it's doing well.
Okay, guys, ito lang, lesson lang to, no? Sa lahat ng negosyo, in all businesses, hindi lahat mag-work, pero it doesn't mean say that you should stop and quit.
Yeah.
What Eric is saying, kung hindi siya nag-work, you adjust.
Yeah.
You innovate. Do you agree?
We even have this constant challenge just between my wife and I, our family. A lot of the crisis we face, we say, okay, let's make this a blessing in disguise. No matter how bad it was, what is the blessing behind this? What is the learning? What is the conversion? Because from every business that you survive after it fails, you have a survival story. So survivor kami of a lot of these failed businesses. So every time, you go into the water and you almost drown, but you survive, you learn to swim better the next time. That's basically what we have to do. We're constantly adjusting our plan B. Plan B becomes plan B1, plan B2, plan B3. Kaya wala kaming isang plan na nag-plan A. We never had a plan A
Na nag-work? Wow.
We always go into plan because there are so many factors. You can have a very good brand, you can have a very good product, you can have a very good team, and then COVID hits you. Nag-plan B kami. So during COVID, what we were saying is, oh no, this is the end. A lot of our friends, because
overhead mo.
we were the ones who were shut down. The restaurants were the ones that were being barred from opening. Pero then I said, teka muna, how do we turn this around?
Paano?
The panic was very short, probably less than 5-10 minutes. We were just thinking, oh, lagot na, ni-lockdown na tayo.
Sandali lang, yung 5 to 10 minutes during the time when it was declared ng lockdown, 5 to 10 minutes lang ang panic
5 to 10 minutes, I was quietly, sitting like in my room. Lagot, this can be the end of pinaghirapan namin because this is after 10 years.
By the way, Eric, you're Chinese, right?
Yeah.
You speak Chinese?
Yes.
So we have a Chinese saying, ito lang, I know you know this, lao chin kwa. Di ba?
Yeah,
Cold
sweat.
Yeah, cold sweat. I'm sure during that time, you broke into cold sweat.
Cold sweat and all the palpitations and all the everything. I looked at my picture before COVID and 1 year after, I look a lot older. And I look a lot older today. But that 1 year between 2019 and 2020, ang laki ng tinanda ko. So it was something that we really had to work on overcoming the crisis. It can become an opportunity if you have the right mindset of the angle. So at the time, they locked us down. But teka muna, lockdown is good. Because the lockdown means none of our staff will get infected.
Okay.
Yun ang mindset namin. We don't want people to get infected and we don't want anyone to die.
Yeah.
So when the lockdown happens, I was actually grateful because the one thing na ayoko is that magkaroon ng viral na chismis na, oh no, nagkasakit ako sa one of my restaurants. And then I can be ruined, So at least the government declared and the whole world declared lockdown. So, okay, now everybody can stay safe. I didn't let go of a single worker. I didn't terminate any job. Basta sabi ko, if you feel, when we open na, if you feel safe to come to work, if you don't have any senior citizen or pregnant women sa bahay nyo, or you don't have children, anyone with a comorbidity, and if your transport is okay, come to work. But if you cannot, stay home.
And
They stayed home, and they opted to stay home. So I didn't let go of anyone. So when we started reopening, sino na sa inyo gusto pumasok? Not everyone wanted to come to work. Yung iba nag-grab driver, yung iba
Pero paano yung pinapasweldo mo pa kahit
wala, because according to DOLE, if they don't come to work, you don't have to, because may assistance naman sila. But ang sabi ko lang, if you come to work, even if I ask you to come to work, I cannot guarantee your safety.
Gusto mo bang mag-start ng negosyo pero natatakot ka? Good news! Stop guessing and start running your business with clarity. Get access to Negosyo GPT powered by my proven business frameworks. Kung gusto niyo makakuha ng access, alam niyo dapat niyo gawin? Click the link below or type Nego GPT. Of course.
So nobody can guarantee your safety. That's the reality. So all I want is when all this is said and done, pagka may vaccine na tayo, pag vaccinated na tayo and you feel comfortable, you come back to work.
So how long was that? Kasi that was, I vividly, clearly, naalala natin, March 2020 yan eh.
Yeah. A year later, we had the vaccine, the first Sinovac around
So
March.
that's 1 year na wala kayong operation?
1 year, wala kaming operation.
So 1 year nagbabayad ka pa rin ng overhead?
No, we were lucky because we were working with the malls.
Okay,
And
paano
the
yun?
malls,
Walk us through.
Well, people think that I negotiated something with the mall. I didn't. When I called the heads of the malls, they were hesitant because we were SFPH at the time. We were just newly formed. They were worried that I'm going to be demanding this or that. But actually, the first phone call I had was with the president of SMC, Mr. Steven Tan, who we already knew a long time. So he knew we were friends. So I asked for a Zoom meeting, and the first question I asked, how can we help you?
Huh?
Yeah.
Baliktad.
That's strange. Everybody was thinking we were demanding for this or that. But you have to remember, during COVID, everybody was going through the same problem at the same time. Nobody had a smart solution. And we all had to work together. We all had to band together. And I wanted the landlord and the tenant to work together on this. I don't want the tenant to think the landlord is a problem. I don't want the landlord to think the tenant is a problem. I had to get our rest of PH restaurant members. We have to work together with the landlord so that we can get through this. And thankfully, I think I never said anything about rent or anything. They were the ones who said that they were negotiating amongst each other, the other landlord, that they will only charge 5% if you open.
What do you mean 5%?
5% of sales.
Walang rental.
Walang rent. So because they also don't want us to get sick, they don't want us to close. Because when you close down a mall, to rebuild the tenant base again after recovery, you can't do that immediately.
Tagal.
It could take years.
Tagal.
So, and then ano yung casualty sa restaurant kung maraming mabankrupt sa ranks namin? So we had to help each other stay afloat until recovery period, until vaccination. So when vaccination came and we were working with Secretary Mon Lopez ng DTI and other members of the government, we were having chats with them, and we would try to negotiate ano ba yung we can open a percentage. And they were asking us how we can keep it safe naman. So because like I said, even government and us, we were working together.
Oo. At saka guys, ito lang kailangan niyo maintindihan to. First time to eh.
First time.
Walang nakakaalam
Walang expert.
Yeah, worldwide. We're talking about worldwide. They don't know, walang protocol, walang hindi alam kung anong safe, anong tamang percentage, wala. So, ang kagandahan lang, again, you and the landlord work together. The government is also...
We were a team. We were working together.
Wow.
The only thing that we were always negotiating, sasabihin nila, how can we let you open lang? So, I remember the conversation was, okay, we'll let you open 10%.
Yung
10% capacity.
Oo.
Okay, so a lot of restaurant operators are saying, paano yan, how can you open 10%? You can open a kitchen at 10%. Okay, it's either 0 or 10%. 10% is better than 0.
Okay.
So at least we called our workers who are willing to come in. I only need a few staff to operate 10%. We're going to be at a loss. No matter how you put it, I'm paying salary. But at least I'm paying them salary for work that they are willing to do, to take something back then naman. And at that time, everybody had to wear face shield and mask. During the time that we were open, how do you term those again? The GCQ,
ECQ, yeah, oo.
Yeah, I don't remember na ngayon.
ECQ is yung ano nga, di ba? Yung GCQ is general, ano.
Yeah, you know those terms
Oo,
before,
oo,
diba? So they would allow you 10%, 25%, 50% capacity.
Yes.
So I'm very proud to say, God is my witness. Not a single person who went to work got sick.
Wow!
None of us were ever
Sa entire chain
wala.
of
During the
restaurants.
time na at least from speaking directly from my own, wala kaming infection na na-detect. So, thank God. No? So, I mean, that was the threat or the scare namin if somebody actually died because he called them to come to work.
Tama.
Hindi ko...
Yung konsensya, no?
So, nakakatakot yun. So, thankfully, wala. And sabi ko nga, malulugi tayo, okay lang. Mababawi mo yan, pero yung buhay, pag nawala, mahirap yan. So, ang kailangan lang namin, tawirin lang namin tong kahirapan. And then, I think after 1 year, we had our first Thanksgiving party. It's what we call our Christmas party. And I told everyone, mission accomplished. Unless hindi niyo sinabi sa akin, nagkasakit kayo. But as far as my knowledge was concerned, none of our HR reported that any of our staff got sick, and none of them succumbed to the infection.
Ikaw, nagkasakit ka ba doon?
I did. I got sick then.
Okay.
I got sick. I had 2 shots of Sinovac. No, I didn't get sick before the vaccine. But afterwards, di ba nagkaroon ng Delta variant?
Yeah. Delta is medyo delikado eh.
Delikado.
Yung Omicron ang medyo mild na.
I didn't get the Delta because they had a new variant. They had a new vaccine by Moderna or Pfizer or something to deal with the Delta. So I got another 2 shots to fight the Delta. All our family did, and we didn't get the Delta. Later on, I did get the Omicron.
Oh yeah, nung January.
Yeah, which is very mild. Yeah, January. You're right. Sometime January I got sick.
Yeah, ganun din. Lahat, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
It wasn't even because you already had the vaccine.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like may sakit ako. I just felt na may itchy throat ako.
Yeah.
Yun lang. And then pag-test, positive. So isolate na ako sa kwarto.
Guys, naalala nyo yan kayo mismo? Naalala nyo pa ba yung, again, pag tinamaan ka ng Delta, grabe, talagang hirap huminga, lahat. Pero yung Omicron I don't know, that particular year, it's I think 2022, di ba? Or 2023.
2022, January, yeah.
Yeah, ang dami talagang, parang, I don't know, I think it's a blessing in disguise
That was
also.
the thing. Sabi raw nila, Omicron being a milder form, once you get it, it gives you
The antibody.
So you can now face. So even if you don't get vaccinated before, the fact that you didn't get Delta, you might had the other variant Delta or the original one, pero you were, what do you call that? Where it doesn't show asymptomatic.
Asymptomatic.
Maybe you were asymptomatic, but once you get Omicron, even if you're not vaccinated, you have like a natural vaccine na. So,
Grabe no, mga kapatid, no? That was already 5 years ago na pinag-uusapan natin. Pero
seemed
during
like
that
yesterday
time.
to me because it was the most traumatic part ng restaurant industry or life in general.
So, how would you say, fast forward, naka-recover na ba yung restaurant business right now?
I'm very happy to say that the Philippine restaurant industry was the fastest recovered industry amongst Asian countries.
Where did you get the stats?
Because I also have other franchises from Japan, friends in Taiwan. I have franchisors in Thailand, of course. Our circle who operates Mango Tree and Genki Sushi are also in Indonesia.
Genki Sushi is
Malaysia.
also a Japanese brand ba?
It's a Japanese brand.
Wow.
So we also have the same pool of information. And by 2022, biglang nag-boom ang restaurant industry. Like revenge.
Yes, revenge spending, no?
The revenge travel, revenge spending, revenge dining.
Yeah.
We had that. But yung other countries, they were just reopening in 2023, a year later. And then, like in other countries, when you go there, maraming saradong restaurant. Because a large part, like Singapore, Taiwan, Japan, they cannot find labor anymore. Same thing with Thailand. Or the rent, suddenly, like Singapore, biglang tumaas because hindi sila nag-charge ng rent for 1-2 years. Nababawi sila. They can't afford the rent. So, they can't open. Or the customers have grown accustomed to a change in lifestyle. Pero tayo, we still like to get together. We still like to have a friend called you, let's have beer. Go have beer.
Galing.
It's still part of the restaurant culture of the Philippines. So by 2022, we are fully recovered.
Pero right now, again, I want to really understand, may factor ba yung culture and your belief as a Filipino-Chinese? May factor ba in operating business? Parati kasi yun ang perception eh. ay kayong mga singkit yan, di ba? Magaling kayo sa negosyo.
No, I'm not that.
Hindi, yun nga, that's the perception.
It's not genetics. I think it's life experience. For me personally,
Okay.
I don't claim any genetic na advantage at all. No, so, but our life experience is different. Being migrants.
Oh, sino migrant?
My lolo was a migrant from
Okay,
China. So
okay.
when you learn about the struggle that my grandparents went through,
Ano kinento sa'yo?
well, he came over from China in the 1930s. Dala lang niya payong.
May
No
Rolls Royce
maleta.
ba?
No maleta, no money. He just
payong lang?
Yeah, he was just sent by his older brother. So pinapunta, then later on, he set up business. He got married, raised children, and when my father was born, it was of all the time 1940 or 41 when the Japanese invaded the Philippines. When the Japanese invaded, he was 1. So imagine my grandfather having to raise. I can imagine today if I have a toddler son, paano ko siya itatakas from a Japanese World War II
Gera.
invasion.
Oo.
So their experience was a lot more challenging than whatever we face, even COVID.
Ay, kasi nga, during that time, not only that, lack of resources, lack of technology, lack of
Yeah.
walang.
So when the Japanese came, they had to alsabalutan, go somewhere else on foot.
Tapos iniwan na yung negosyo. Lugi na yun.
Oo, wala yun. So until wala na yung threat of war, at the time it was peace because the Japanese were here. They had to get back to work. So he had to do business again. Then afterwards, the reinvasion by the Americans in the 1940s to drive the Japanese naman out. So again, Manila was destroyed. So then he had to start business again. But this time, meron pa siyang ilang anak.
Ilan na?
By this time, I think he had 2 or 3 kids. So I don't think he believed in birth control because my father had 9 siblings. So
We're saying, they have,
my
yung,
grandparents had 10 children.
amazing.
Hindi ko ma-imagine yun. So 10 kids. So imagine having to go through migration to uproot yourself, to go to a place where you hardly speak the language.
Yeah.
He doesn't speak English, cannot read anything.
Even Tagalog, I'm sure.
Of course. So he had to learn. And at that time, the lingua franca was Spanish. So they had to learn a little bit of Spanish. So he had to raise a family with all that challenges. And when you hear that was part of our family's DNA.
Naabutan mo pa si Lolo?
Oh.
Ito kinikwento niya talaga direct.
My father was the one who told me the story of my lolo. But my lolo was always very quiet. He's the one who's, alam mo, he's a very tough guy, but he's a quiet, soft-spoken guy. Pero he doesn't take any nonsense, because yan a survivor. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that the only skill set I learned from my lolo is being a survivor. And being a business person, you have to not just think about surviving after the problem, but you're already thinking, what if may bagyo bukas? How do you plan to survive? You don't wait for the bagyo to hit before you plan anything. So you have a backup plan already in play.
Wow. Alam mo, parang, ito mga kapatid, ito yung mga sinasabi ko, wala ka sa lolo ko. Di ba yung mga kwento?
Yeah.
Wala ka sa lolo ko.
Wala ka sa lolo ko. Wala ka sa lola ko.
Pero this is really amazing. Kasi ako personally, I haven't heard that type of story from my grandfather. Well, hindi ko rin naintindihan eh. Kasi ganun din eh. How old are you right now?
I'm 61.
Yeah, ako I'm 60. So, medyo
Thank you for sharing that now. I'm older than you.
Hindi, pero minsan yung mga lolo story eh. So, my lolo also came from China. And then, my father was born here. Just like your dad was also born here, right?
Yeah.
Oo. So, is your dad still,
Yes. He's 85.
80,
Yeah.
80 plus na. Oo. Right now. My dad passed at 79. Oo, that was around.
Still long life, right?
Yeah. So, grabe talaga. So, ikaw naman, okay, you heard your lolo story. Pero I'm sure may na-impart sa'yo si papa mo. Your dad instilled something in you.
You learn the work ethic. They don't take anything for granted. They know that money is hard. And my father, unless really sick, never missed a day of work.
Wow.
Siya yung magbubukas sa tindahan niya. He's sold grinding wheels.
Anong negosyo?
Grinding wheels, yung mga panghasa. grinding wheels, sanding this, mga ganon. And he never missed a day that I know of until he got really, really sick lang. That's when he would miss. But siya yung may hawak ng susi eh. So even pag may sakit siya, he would ask someone to get the susi para magbukas. He would still be, walang cellphone to, but he would be calling.
Ano
Make sure
location?
everything's there. In Binondo.
Binondo.
Yeah. The logic of the way they do business is just, it's not about anong pinag-aralan mo, your degree. It's not about, your field of specialization. It's street rules. Now, how
I'm
do
sure
you,
hindi nakapagtapos ang papa mo.
No. No. It's all street rules.
Oo.
I was raised in Tondo.
O saan ka sa Tondo?
Tondo, Ilaya area.
Ay, talaga?
So, in Tondo, you also learn, it's not about, you have to learn how to navigate, the street ng Tondo.
Ilan kayo magkakapatid?
We were 5. I'm the oldest.
Okay. So, nagbantay tindahan ka rin, I'm sure.
For some time. Pero talagang hindi ko kaya.
Bakit?
I'm not the smartest kid in the family. So, ako yung palaging kawawa. But I went to my grandfather's store before. I think I was 9. Sa Jensen. They set up a small store in General Santos City. The Yangas at the time we called. There was a manual cash register machine.
Oo, yung ginaganong-ganon. Oo.
Sa amin, pindot na, hindi na ginaganon. But the
Okay.
old one nandiyan sa tabi, ginaganon. So the electric one was there. And it doesn't calculate the change. So when someone gives you 50 pesos, and at that time, 50 pesos, you can buy shoes.
Ang laking pera na.
Laki ng 50 pesos. So 50 pesos ang binigay sa'yo, ang binili niya sapatos was 37.25 cents. May 25 cents pa. Kailangan mong i-compute talaga yung sukli
Yeah.
in your brain.
Oh.
Walang calculator, walang nothing. So, I got very good at it. So did my brother, my younger brother. So, imagine a 9-year-old in the cash register.
Galing.
I can imagine now putting my 9-year-old child in charge of the cash register machine
Even with a calculator.
with a calculator. And yet, what made my grandfather think that I can, basta linigay lang nga doon, and then, sukli po. That was always a fun memory. I did that for about 2 months in Jensen. We were just there in the cash register.
So how did it change your psyche naman?
Well, I just appreciate the hard work that my family, my
May
uncles...
sweldo ka?
Wala.
Pero
Wala.
I'm sure may libreng pagkain.
No, wala naman. It wasn't about that. It was, I think I'm lucky to be part of a family where everyone looks out for each other.
Oh.
And we have a very, we're not the kind of family who is very showy, beso-beso, ganon, but we're very close. I had so many role models in my family, my hardworking uncles who had to stop their education to move from Manila to Jensen to help my grandfather in the business, and that got us to survive. So now, I always look at that as unique in inspiration. We all have our unique role model. I'm lucky to have not just one, not just two, not just three, not just four, so many in my
So
own
in
family.
other words, yung environment may growing up, exposed ka sa ganun.
Exposed ako sa kahirapan na dinanas nila to be sure that I have a comfortable life. So I don't claim that I went through the same struggles they did, but I grew up in a household where I saw the pain of the struggle and the fruit of recovery. So I saw how the kind of work you need to do and the kind of toughness, mental toughness. If you have a family, what do? You don't give up. So they really had to do all the hard work.
9 years old ka nun.
I was 9. That was formative for me. How do I become like them?
So Eric, I mean, that's amazing. That's an amazing story. Thank you for sharing that.
I'm proud of my family history.
Oo, hindi, pero
I would love to share that all the time.
hindi, because of that, at 9 years old, ano naman na naging, when did you start naman on your own that you say, okay, I want to be part of this?
Well, when you go through high school, you have a lot of...
You won't believe what happens next. Type part 2 if you want more.
There are 2 types of traveler. The first type of travelers go there to sightsee, to enjoy. The second type of traveler is when they go, they see opportunities and bring the opportunities here.
We're curious. We're naturally curious. When we see something, hey, bakit wala yun?
Di weird,
Sa
di ba?
Manila, di ba? Sabi niya, the problem with Filipinos, the traffic jam is so bad because you have so many cars. And if you think that the Philippines has a lot of problems, this is a land of opportunity.
Alam mo, kaya nga guys, parati kong sinasabi sa inyo, mag-ipon kayo, mag-ipon. Bakit? Even if the opportunity is there, bagsak presyo, pag wala kang pera.
Yeah.
You don't have cash. You lose the opportunity.
Chinkee Tan, with over 6 million Facebook followers, 2.8 million YouTube subscribers, and 2.4 million TikTok fans, is now all out to share with you the most practical, simplest path to lasting wealth.